Have you ever seen a painting and thought that it was trying to tell you something? Included in one masterpiece, The Last Supper, painted by Leonardo da Vinci over half a millennium ago, is one of the biggest mysteries ever out there. The study, questioning, and debating of this painting has been going on for ages. Others simply declare it a photo of Jesus and his friends. Some say it is concealing messages that might turn history upside down. But why this painting? Of all the works Leonardo ever made, this one seems alive. It pulls the viewer into the moment, as if you could almost hear the whispers, the gasps, the sudden silence after Jesus' words. It's not just art, it's a snapshot of human emotion frozen in time. Hello to legends and empires. There was no time to dig into the history of his inventions, his bizarre notes, or his absolutely unexplainable brain in our last video. But today, we're going deeper. We are narrowing down to one of his most iconic paintings, The Last Supper, a painting of connotations, symbols, and perhaps even secrets left by the master himself. Leonardo wasn't just painting, he was telling a story in silence. Every brushstroke, every choice of light and shadow carries intention. Behind that calm face of Jesus and the chaos of his followers, Leonardo might have been hiding his personal reflections about faith, humanity, and destiny. The history of the painting. The Last Supper was painted by Leonardo da Vinci between 1495 and 1498 in Milan, Italy. It was not done on canvas, but directly on a wall in the Santa Maria del Grazie monastery. He was requested to paint it by the Duke of Milan, and what was meant to be a simple religious painting became one of the most researched artworks of all time. Imagine the scene, a cold monastery hall, the scent of plaster and paint, and Leonardo climbing scaffolding lost in thought. He would spend hours staring at the wall, doing nothing, while monks wondered if he had gone mad. Then suddenly, he'd pick up the brush and paint furiously for hours. That was Leonardo, brilliant, unpredictable, and consumed by detail. In the scene, Jesus tells his disciples that one of them will betray him. Each face, each hand, each shadow captures a reaction: surprise, fear, confusion. Leonardo wasn't just showing emotions, he was painting ideas. He turned a moment of despair into an eternal lesson in human behavior. He showed loyalty, guilt, anger, and disbelief, all without words. That's why this painting feels so real, even 5 centuries later. Hidden meanings and secrets. Look closely at the painting. There are 13 individuals at the table, Jesus in the middle, 6 on each side. But there's something strange. Leonardo gave none of them halos, unlike earlier religious art. Maybe he was saying that holiness isn't in symbols, it's within. Some believe Leonardo used psychology long before the word existed. He placed the disciples in small groups, each reacting in their own way. He studied how people talk, argue, and comfort each other. The painting feels like a still frame from a real conversation, because that's exactly how he designed it. And the hands, almost everyone is reaching or pointing. Leonardo used gestures like words in a sentence. He wanted the picture to speak. Some researchers say the numbers form hidden patterns, even musical notes. If you trace the lines of the bread and hands, they create a kind of melody. Could Da Vinci have made the painting into music? It wouldn't be far-fetched. Leonardo played the lute, studied acoustics, and believed that sound and light were connected. To him, art and science were 2 sides of the same coin. Perhaps he wanted the painting to be heard as much as seen. The mysterious woman theory. The person sitting next to Jesus is one of the greatest mysteries. Many believe it's the disciple John, calm and youthful, but others claim it's actually a woman, Mary Magdalene. The figure has long hair, soft features, and sits close to Jesus in a way that feels personal. This idea became famous after the Da Vinci Codebook and movie, which suggested Leonardo hid a message about Mary Magdalene's true role in history. But why would Leonardo hide such an idea? He lived in a time when questioning religious stories could be dangerous. Yet Leonardo often wrapped his beliefs in symbols, riddles, and art. He painted what he couldn't say aloud. Whether true or not, it shows how one painting can spark endless questions. It reminds us that art is not only what we see, but what we imagine behind it. Leonardo's hidden geometry. Leonardo was more than an artist. He was a scientist and a mathematician. He believed everything should be in perfect balance and proportion. In the Last Supper, if you draw lines along the walls, ceiling, and windows, they all meet at one point: Jesus. That's perspective. Leonardo made Jesus the center of everything, the eye of the storm. This wasn't just technique, it was philosophy. By placing Jesus at the exact center, Leonardo made a statement about harmony between heaven and earth. It's not just geometry, it's belief disguised as mathematics. Even the mathematics in the painting tell a story. Every inch of space, every shadow, every proportion follows a hidden rule, the divine ratio, the same sequence found in nature and the human body. Damage and restoration. Over time, the painting began to fade. Leonardo had used experimental materials that didn't last. By the 1600s, much of it had already disappeared. Then came wars, humidity, and pollution. At one point, soldiers even cut a door through the wall, right where Jesus' feet were. Centuries of neglect nearly erased Leonardo's genius, but his vision refused to die. Art experts spent decades carefully restoring it piece by piece. Today, when you visit Milan to see the Last Supper, you're viewing both Leonardo's original and the delicate hands of the restorers who saved it. It stands as a symbol of endurance. Even when time tries to destroy beauty, humanity finds a way to preserve it. What Leonardo wanted to say. Leonardo never explained what his painting meant. Maybe he didn't want to. Maybe he wanted people to think, wonder, and question. That's the power of his art. It speaks differently to every person. Some see religion, others see science. Some see beauty, others see codes. Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. Leonardo saw the world as layers: light, sound, emotion, and logic all connected. The Last Supper might not be a message to decode, but a mirror of the universe itself. Maybe that's the real secret. The painting is a mirror of whoever is looking at it. Thank you for staying with us till the end of this video. Like, comment, and share your thoughts on what Da Vinci was truly trying to say. And tell us, what should we explore next? The genius of Nikola Tesla, or the secret life of Vincent van Gogh? You're watching Legends and Empires, where the greatest minds of history speak to the world of today.